Trying to build a PC on a budget but don't know where to buy your Windows 10 software on the cheap? Who keys to the rescue? Just enter our code PASS, P-A-S-S, and immediate discount. Let's quickly go through the activation process after you've purchased Windows 10 on WhoKeys. Go to your WhoKeys account and select My Purchased Orders. See your order. To the far right, click on the button that says View Keys Codes to see the Windows CD code. At the bottom of this order where it says Code Card, to the right is the product key you need to activate Windows. So copy this long number, then go to the Windows menu and click on Settings. In the Settings menu at the bottom, select Update and Security. Select Activation, then select Change Product Key, paste what you copied from WhoKeys, click Next, click Activate, and you're done. You can download the Windows 10 Pro key and you're up and running. But that's not all, folks. WhoKeys has keys for games too. Steam, Origin, Uplay, you name it, you got it. Check out their sites. There are discounts for all sorts of stuff. And most importantly, you want to be productive? What about Office Suite? So download a copy of Office Professional with our code PASS, P-A-S-S, at checkout. Hey guys, hey, happy Saturday everyone. Hope everyone had a good Prime Day. Did you pick up anything fun, Brandon?
I did not buy anything crazy. I bought a couple pop sockets. So I got got a glow in the dark Iron Man arc reactor pop socket. That was not on discount. I don't know. I didn't get much. I buy so much crap. It didn't really matter that it was super on sale. I guess I did buy a couple pairs of headphones. Sorry. I bought the Jabra Elite 7s. I had the Sony XM4s. I bought two pairs of Power Beats for the kids. They were down to $119. I think we were talking about that when we were on the live stream that day.
Right.
So I ended up buying some of those headphones. That's about it. What about you?
I got some hard drives. I've been waiting for the 4 terabyte SSD drives because I just need 4 terabytes to do all my video editing. Because I move so many large video files for one video. And I was running out of room on my 1 terabyte. So I got a 4 terabyte, and that's just for my video editing space. So hopefully that will help me with just space management. It's crazy. These files are huge.
Yeah. Are you a coffee drinker?
I am. I love coffee.
I did a sponsorship for this Cometeer company, and I love their coffee. Like I just bought a bunch more on my own because you can just take this like little frozen capsule. It's concentrated. And I just dump it in like a glass of like milk with sugar. And I have a lot. It's like a latte. It's awesome.
Oh, so look who's here. Hey, Technic Rainer Richter. Thank you for that. Hey, friends, greetings from good old Germany. What time is it in Germany? Is it really late or is it really early? I lose track.
I think it's like 11 or 12 there.
Oh, man. Thanks for staying up, buddy. And yeah, let's say hello to everyone who's just showed up. Hello. Hey, we see Michael and Leo, our QNED buddy, and I have the QNED 85. I'm in the process of reviewing. Classy has it as well. Let's just say we're pretty impressed with it so far. The QNED 85, it's their entry-level mini LED. And I have to say, we are at a point where you don't need to pay more for more brightness. I think the brightness is there. It's down to the use case for each TV, because each one does a little bit something different, better than the other one. David Williams here. Hey, David. Of course, TechMed, Classy is here. Right. And
make sure you guys smash the like button.
Oh, yeah. Get the like going here. And I like this comment because I think we've been talking about this theme for a while. And today we're talking about Black Friday prices, but this is pretty cool. Michael knows 77 or number 77 just canceled my order for the S95B and went with the LG G2 based on reviews and updates. I hope I didn't make a mistake. What do you guys think? I'm not sure about QD-OLED. Michael, this is my recommendation for most people is unless you know why you're getting the S95B, like specifically for certain gaming, for certain games, I mean, you've done your research, you know exactly why. The G2 is such a safe bet as a good TV. No worries. Don't look back because the 1 or 2 things the S95B does better. If you don't know what it is, then don't worry about it, right? So I think I have the G2 65-inch. I love it. I'm using it to make my comparisons. I like the S95B as well, don't get me wrong, but the G2 is solid and they look very similar more often than not. So just something for you guys to think about. Oh, look, it's not midnight yet. It's only 11:30 p.m. in Germany. What time do you go to bed, TechMed? All right. Oh, man. It's crazy. You know, is it me or did it feel like summer? There's no heat wave this summer. Like it's hot. Uh-oh, I lost you. You're on mute. Okay, there you go.
It's 90 degrees here, man.
90 degrees isn't a heat wave. I mean, it's hot. But remember when it used to be like 98, 99?
You live up by the Anaheim and all that. It gets like 10 degrees hotter up there. It doesn't get that hot over here.
Yeah, here
I was putting together we were putting together an e-bike outside and my kids were complaining. It was 90 out there. Like, I want to go inside.
And hey, everyone, share with us your best Prime Day deal. Oh, before I share this with you, I wanted to show you guys something else real quick. Before we get into the Black Friday prices, I wanted to share with you guys the best of Prime Day prices as a little bit of context to see if you guys were able to hit these deals. And let me share that with you real quick, because I thought this year was actually pretty aggressive. I was pretty impressed. 1 second here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep messing with my autofocus. I have no idea. It just all of a sudden my autofocus went out.
Your autofocus went out all of a sudden?
Yeah, I don't know. So, that's not cool.
What camera you have? The FX3? Is that doing that?
Just the first time it's ever done this.
Oh, it shouldn't be doing that. That's crazy. Okay, so here it is. All right. Okay, so these were the best of Prime Day this past week. And really, I thought that the best deal had to be the A80K, the $1,000 Sony A80J 55-inch, right? That I thought was a great deal. If you wanted a 55-inch OLED A80J, that's a great price. And of course, the 2300 Samsung QN95B, excellent price as well. Everyone was shocked that the S95B dropped to 2400. Both Amazon and Best Buy, and I think there was Crutchfield, almost everyone offered this $200 credit. I'm certain now it's offered by Samsung. Basically, they're trying to get rid of these S95Bs. And there's a lot of theories why people are saying, oh, maybe they know something we don't. It's all theory. I honestly don't know why they're pushing to get rid of it so quick. Maybe it's to, I don't know, just right before the Sony A95K releases, get people to buy their TVs first. But at $2,400, based on the $3,000 MSRP, only, 2 months ago? This is pretty aggressive, right? $600. So,
I wonder if they're just making them a little cheaper, like if maybe it's just they have it. They're like, hey, listen, we got a certain markup. We can make money off of it. Let's just go for it,
Yeah.
Another one, the LG C1, the 48-inch at $799 is an incredible deal.
Yeah, I agree.
Everyone is looking for like it's a big computer monitor, but seriously, a 48. I have a 48-inch C1, $800. I would take that over a lot of like 55, 65 inch, like crappy, mediocre, not crappy TVs. Like we always get caught up saying that kind of stuff, but like a 65-inch Samsung at Best Buy or somewhere, you're going to get like is it a Q70 or a Q60? You're going to get a TV that's pretty far down there. So either that A80J for $1,000 or the C1 for $600, $800. That's both really good deals.
Yep. And here we have Batman saying, hey, check out Villaman's G2 video. The S95B beats it. Well, definitely use case, like many people said, you run low bit rate through it and the S95B falls apart, right? If you're running cable or whatever, it's not good, but perfect 4K HDR, it's pretty strong. Definitely a use case issue. I love my S95B, don't get me wrong. But then you have the quality control issues where they're bent out of the box. Not so much that it was bent out of the factory, but between the factory and delivery.
Yeah.
I guess the box was not robust enough. So, there are some risks to that. But if you get a good non-bent TV, I think it was phenomenal. And classy, both times he got the S95B, they were bent. So it's statistically, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Did you know David Whelan's in Phoenix?
Yeah, that's funny. Leo Seven Fire also, he used to live in Hillcrest and now he lives in Phoenix. Yeah.
Oh,
Phoenix, dude. Man, I've been out there. I would just be living in the air conditioning. So it's like, I'd rather, it's so expensive in California though. Like there's a huge discount to go to Arizona.
I made a mistake. So I visited Phoenix once. I made a mistake of leaving the hanging parking tag on the mirror on a hot day. Came back, it was just completely warped. I'm like, oh my God. Because you don't live there, you don't know what you're supposed to do, right? Apparently you don't put your tag there, just boom. Brutal indeed. And Fuad Hamoud has a great question. Q90B 75-inch. Okay, now I can share with you our Black Friday projections, because I do believe we can go over some prices. And remember, these are projections, so it's not like written in stone, but we'll have fun with it. I think this year it'll be a bit more aggressive. So to answer your question, the Q90B 75-inch, I have it at 2,400. That's my prediction. And it may, okay, so I think this could end up even being $100 higher than it will be. The way the economy is going globally, you guys are seeing, all these news of what recession or just CPIs going up, and a lot of retailers and producers saying, oh my gosh, we sold a lot less than we expected to on Prime Day. Their last chance to make money is Black Friday. So Amazon itself was so disappointed, even though they're putting out the numbers, oh, it's our record, they're considering a second Prime Day. That tells you something. That means that the retailers did not hit the numbers they had hoped, which means if they don't get rid of inventory by Black Friday, they're going to have a total markdown next year, which they don't want to do. They will still sell at a higher price on Black Friday than they will spring of 2023. So they're going to try to hit those volumes on Black Friday. So let's go through it real quick with you guys. At the 55-inch size, I think the C2 and the A80K will be around 1,400, but most of you want to talk 65-inch and above, right? Because that's the most popular size now in most countries, or the USA. Outside the USA, I think 55-inch is still the thing. But I think the C2 and the A80K at 1,700 is where I'm targeting that. People are looking at that, or the QN90B at 1,900. At under 2,000, there's a pretty good selection. The QNED 85, I think, will be at 1,400, or I think the best value will end up being the Sony X90K at close to $1,000. It is like the X95J, but possibly a touch better in some things. I know Classy was left very impressed. He actually likes it more than the X95J. And at the high end, the A95K is not going to have much of a reduction. I think 3,500 at best, even though it is Black Friday, it's still their master series. And 3,500 is pretty aggressive for a Sony in its first few months of launch anyway. The S95B, I think, will drop further, a couple hundred more to 2,200, or the X95K will be. X95K, I think, will still be a little overpriced. The Q90B will end up still being a better deal. And the G2 at around 2,400, I think that's where they'll end up, maybe 23. Let me know if you disagree. At the larger sizes, I think at 1,700, the X90K will be a phenomenal value. That'll get you a really bright HDR TV at the 75-inch. If you want the brightest TV for the money. Now, we don't have TCL or Hisense models yet. I have no idea what the pricing is. I don't dare put it on here because we don't even know if it's going to release on time. So as soon as those TVs are released, we'll have another live stream. We'll update it. But what are your thoughts? Is this within your budget? Are you disappointed? Let's go.
Yeah. Getting you have most of these. Getting a 65-inch under $2,000 is a pretty key number, I think.
Yeah.
You think that the QN95B, you think that'll still be up to 2,600?
It's right now, it's 3,300 right now, I think 32, 33. So it might go a little bit lower, but I don't think they'll ever. Okay, so they're looking at the G2. If the G2 is 2,400, they want to keep their QN95B just above the G2. That's how I'm tracking it. I think they feel the QN95B is their flex versus the G2, because their Q90B is clearly the cheaper TV, although still more expensive than the C2. So you see what Samsung's doing is they always want to keep one of their two TVs slightly above the OLED so they can say they're better than OLED. And that's been consistent year after year. So depending where the G2 ends up, the Q95B will be $100 or $200 more. And that's how I'm tracking that. That's how it is right now, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Getting any of the large 77, 75s under $3,000 or under $3,000 would be great. 85-inch, You don't have those on there, huh?
Not yet. I have a hard time nailing down the 85-inch at anything further than maybe 3900 because I know the volume out there is low. So Luke tells us, I disagree, FOMO. S95B looks great on Comcast here. So definitely use case, guys. Now, I don't have cable boxes. I'm just going after under what people have told me. But if you get the S95B and you have a cable box and you love it, share it because others will say, hey, you know what? He's got Comcast. It works. I'm in.
I think it doesn't. I had issues with the S95B only when it was on like really low level, low bandwidth stuff, but I thought the S95B was great when it just didn't have any buggy issues. Some of the buggy issues or some of the motion issues were just kind of like random. Right. It just seems like they need to firm up the firmware a little bit, you know?
Right.
It is a good TV. And not only is it a good TV, but it is a top 2 TV in the world. So
absolutely.
You know, so you're talking like G2 and that are the two that are like highest end right now. And I don't know what other TV would come close to it as far as like quality.
Well, here's the thing that I've told many people at the shootout, once you calibrate the S95B against the A95K from Sony, there's a possibility that the two ends up looking nearly identical, where the judges might separate them by 0.01. And as far as I'm concerned, when you're separated by the final decimal point, it's essentially indistinguishable. And now your bias comes in because, you know, we don't do double blind tests, right? The judges know what TVs are what. But ultimately, when it's that close, like last year with the G1, in some content where it's that close, I'd say, you know what, that's a wash. And I think the S95B will come closer than many people expect. And in HDR, it might end up being brighter than the A95K. So maybe people be surprised that the S95B might win 1 or 2 categories for sure.
Yeah, I just think that if they're all things are the same or it's very similar, the S95B, I think they just don't have like the motion ironed out like some of the OLEDs that have been around for multiple, you know, generations of the TV.
The G2, the G2.
Because I just think like Samsung has had, you know, they've had LED motion, so now it's like you're going from QLED motion and having that to this like QD OLED with the instant response. It's a different beast. It looks different, you know. And when I was watching some cable things or, you know, you just see a little glitchiness that I couldn't shake it off, you know. I couldn't get rid of it no matter how I adjusted the different motion interpolations, turn them off, turn them on, turn them high, low, still had a little bit of issues.
This is a difficult question. What price will the Z9K be at Black Friday? So in the first few months, Sony doesn't want to touch its Z9 Master Series 8K TV. I mean, they aggressively discounted the following year once the year turns to 2023. So even last year, right, Black Friday, you'll get a discount, but I'd say, you know, 85-inch, probably $1,000 off, 75-inch, maybe 800. I mean, we're talking between 1,000 and 1,500 depending on the size. It's not going to be huge. Next year, if you want to get a Z9K, don't rush into it. Wait until spring and then get into it. Call Robert Zone. He is able to lock in the best prices for you as soon as he gets it because Z9K is his thing, right? And so the best price for the Z9 series will always be around March. And that's when they start selling out as well because these things have a small inventory because they're so expensive. People really don't want it. The minute it hits that price, they're gone. So the Z9K, if you want the 85-inch or 75, around February or March, reach out to Value Electronics and they'll start locking down that last allocation before they're sold out. But I've heard the Z9K is pretty amazing. Brian, Tech Therapy Whisper Status, he's just like, he didn't expect much from it because he thought it would be like last year, but the gaming performance on the Z9K, he thought was just like, wow, unexpectedly good. So for those of you who want a super bright TV, and it's super bright and, you know, lifted blacks and blooming, that happens with LCDs. But if you're in a bright room, it sounds like the Z9K is just going to crush it for a lot of people. All right. So what super large TV are you looking forward to in the next month that you're getting, Brandon? Because all your TVs, if you guys don't know, every TV Brandon's getting is that 85-inch or above, right, Brandon?
Well, we're getting a 75 QN9 or 800B. So the second 8K, I wanted to see what that's like.
Okay.
So we're getting 75 because that's what they had, Samsung. Actually, I'm surprised that they offered to bring a 75-inch. Normally, it's just 65. and I have the X95K here, and that's only 65 inch. So I'll be comparing the X95K and the X90K, and then that, and then I just did the 120 inch Hisense L5G. We have that up on the wall. I did that video today. It's pretty big, but I don't know, man. Ultra short throw just doesn't have the power that these TVs have, you know?
Especially with the 98-inch TVs becoming a thing next year, right? Yeah. This year, there's only 1 or 2 models, TCL and Samsung and Sony, and they're expensive. But next year and the year after, ultra short throw at 100 inches, it doesn't make sense. You got to start at 120. Otherwise, the picture quality is just not there, right? I mean, you're seeing the comparison. Your 98-inch, I'm sure, kills it.
Yeah, the TCL is even a lot brighter. It's like double the brightness. It's interesting. I don't know much about the ultra short throws. I mean, I don't know if like the PX1 Pro is even brighter or whatever.
No.
Yeah, so I have, I'm going to probably bring that 120-inch screen and put it behind me here, and then have that in the background, because this is an 83 behind my head and it looks tiny back there. But
it does look tiny.
I want to put 120-inch up there, and then I'll probably test out the different projectors in here in a dark room, because it's kind of hard out there with that light. Even with the good light rejection screen, it's cool. But yeah, I am hopefully just going to continue getting the largest TVs. I would like to get the 85-inch X95K, but I'm going to get the 65-inch for now.
Just so you know, the PX1 Pro was designed specifically for a dark room and contrast and color gradients, because people were complaining that the L9G was, well, it's bright, but it clipped too many detail, right? I mean, it was just too bright and raw, and it was designed for a bright room. So they had the PX1 Pro to bring down the brightness, but give you back all that detail, which means unless you're in a dark room, it's not going to look good at all. So that's just something that when you test it, make sure it's super dark. The minute you turn on the lights, it'll just be washed out. Yeah. And that's one of the weaknesses of ultra short throw that people don't realize. If you're used to a TV where you turn the lights, turn off the lights, whatever, your ultra short throw is not going to come close.
Yeah, and we put the screen on upside down too. So
no!
When we put it on, we put it up. I mean, the screen was technically just upside down from the frame. The frame was right side up. So all we had to do is flip it. But the point was when we had it upside down, I'm like, this thing sucks, but it was because it was rejecting the light coming from the projector.
Yep. Wow.
So we flipped it, and it was like, it got like 3 times brighter. And we're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Obviously, we have that upside down. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a fun time. Good time.
Now, based on the early reviews, right, Jedi Master is asking, do you guys think any of the flaws with the Sony A95K, that's the QD OLED from Sony, will be ironed out in 2023? Like color accuracy in gaming and black level issues. Well, if you guys know Sony, it takes them a while to iron out anything for gaming. Now, I could be proven wrong, and suddenly this year Sony decides to do their magic earlier. But the reality is Sony's not known for ironing out gaming issues fast. If you're waiting for that, don't buy any TV with the hopes that its features will be ironed out years from now. Either they are ironed out or they're not. If they are ironed out and you buy it, great. If they're not, you know what? Get it, hope for the best, but don't complain, because let's see, the Q90R finally got its eARC update like 3 years later, and a lot of people didn't expect to have it, so they sold their TVs or whatever. So don't hold your breath. The A95K definitely was designed to be a movie watching TV first. That happens to be a gaming TV. If you need that stuff, get the G2, right? That's what I think.
I was going to say on that as well, the main flaw of the A95K is that it's only 65 inches.
That's another one, right?
I want like the reason that I would wait is because I would like a larger size. So if 65-inch is the size TV you want to get, I don't think you're going to notice a ton of difference between that and like the A90J. Like the A90J, the G2, those TVs are really good. So
yeah, you
could save some money and just. I mean, the end reason that I didn't keep the S95B was because I didn't, there was a little, that was definitely better than my A90J, but I already had an A90J. So I already have it. And I can't even watch that at full brightness because it's so bright when you're watching TV at night, what am I going to do with the extra brightness? We only watch 1 or 2 programs a week in our room, or we'll watch like an hour a night in our room with the lights on before Jen, like she gets up way earlier. So she doesn't watch a ton at night, but that TV was like, I was watching it on like 10% brightness every night. So what's the point of having it, you know?
That's another thing. A lot of people, they keep saying, I need bright. Well, no, you just need the specular highlights. You don't need the entire thing to be bright, right?
That's why you buy an OLED and you get a cheap one, and you just, you know, get a C1 of last year or something like that. You get, you know, save yourself, because the OLED part of it is the main thing. Getting an OLED is amazing.
Right.
That's what you need, you know.
And I love Classy's comment. Hey, FOMO, you see the Q95B is $3,300 for a 65-inch? That's nuts. As long as it's more expensive than the G2. But that's why I predict come Black Friday, with the G2 going down, the Q95B will go down. But yeah, I mean, okay, what are you paying for? The One Connect box, slightly better processor AI. Who knows what that really means? Really, you're paying for the One Connect box, and it's a super thin frame because they separate the processor from the TV. I agree. I think you're paying extra for nothing. And that's why this is the first time they offered it in the US, right? I suspect they're not going to sell a lot of these, but maybe there'll be a great Prime Day price next year. But would you pay extra for a One Connect box, Brandon? Because this is what the Q95B. It's like an extra $800 for One Connect or more.
I mean, I think it's good to have the option in the US, but I think most people could just get the QN90B. It's amazing. Because a lot of people will have like situations where their HDMIs and power outlets are going to be up on the wall where the TV needs to go. I have people that hit me up all the time that are like, you know, I want to get the frame, but my power outlet's up high. It's the same thing with the QN95B. Then they have to reroute, you know, you have to get rid of the power outlet, or you just have to put the TV over it. But, you know, like, I think both of them will be good sellers. I would love to have a One Connect box in certain situations where you know, if you just want to run it down the wall or something, it's just very easy.
That's true.
Because, you know, I hate having like 4 cords going up the wall, HDMIs, and then I got to like pull them away, you know. So it's just nice sometimes if you have a nice clean stand and you just want things to wire to each other inside the stand and then have one cord go up to the TV. That's what it's for, you know, just to make it convenient.
I have to say the best feature of the One Connect box, which I actually picked up, is the 15-meter cord. I mean, that's why you get it. It's for that 15-meter cord, which is the
15 meter, right? Or the 15
meter.
Oh,
I haven't. It finally arrived because, well, this room I'm in the studio is not that big. It's like a 10 by 10, and anything that contributes to heat makes this room way too hot. So the minute I get a chance, I'm going to move that box out of the room so that it doesn't warm up the room. So, but that's why I got the 15-meter One Connect cord, right, for the frame, which is behind me, and it
looks nice too.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that though. That's why people want it. Here's a great question. Oh yeah, this is Ratings has updated their benchmarks. So if you guys check out, they've redone about at least 15 TVs or so. They redid their benchmark. They've added a new HDR measurement tool. And let's bring it up right now so we can see what I'm talking about here real quick. Yeah, I think this is very cool what they're doing. So 1 second here. We're going to look at the new, let's do the LG G2 comparison with the S95B, because I think this will give us a chance to see how this new tool works, and you guys can do your comparisons that way. So,
yeah, it's definitely cool that they updated that stuff. It's always good to keep updating things just to make it
definitely
more relevant with the today's TVs.
This is exactly how we like to make our comparisons as well. Okay, let me take it down. And I mean, they've done a few things, but this is the one I think is most important to our viewers because it is important to me for sure. So I'm gonna bring it down right here. So they have a change log and they wrote about it. So let me bring it up quick. Here we go. All right. You see it? Okay.
No, I'm still blurry. You're good. Yeah, it's up.
All right. So this is
I'm gonna move
this is what Andy Kills You is saying. Okay, so what they've done is they've taken actual images and they're measuring the brightest point in each image. So that's what you see, right? So you see the hallway lights right here. The hallway lights refers to the brightest point of the hallway lights, measuring, let's say here, 1,000 nits. And then on the S95B, surprisingly, 910 nits. And Classy has some great criticisms and suggestions about this that we'll hit as well, because I spoke to him at length about what issues there are with doing it this way. But I believe it's an improvement over just a window. And then here, the landscape photo, you have that bright yellow spot and that's measured. So when it says 1950 here, what they're saying is that's what it should be. And then this is what it reads, right? It should be 700 and it reads 706, where, well, surprisingly, not surprisingly, the S95B actually hits the mark at 704, which is awesome. Landscape pool down here should be 251, right? Or it should be 300. The G2 gets it. Probably the heatsink because it's slightly larger. Okay, this definitely is useful. My suggestion for ratings was that the exposure in every scene, spot exposed to the same point on each TV, and have the TVs then luminance matched to that point at the same level for all TVs. That way your exposure is the same and the TVs are luminance matched so that the brightest spot can then be compared in relative terms, right? And so we'll see what they say. But more importantly, though, Classy is saying just making these measurements are really hard, because both the technician who puts out the measurement tools and whatever, if it's different text, just by moving it, if you're off by a couple of pixels, your numbers change, which may end up making it inconsistent. So that's something that, well, very difficult to do. So
yeah, but we wanted this. So like you
I
can't
do
be on
want
both sides of it. It's like,
yeah.
do you want it or do you not want it? Because you're either going to have a hard time being exact, or you can use the big stupid white windows like we used to do. So it's like, you know, I mean, I think you give it a shot and you do this for a while and see what happens. So.
Sure. And but you know what's funny is even in this picture, comparing the HDR landscape photos, it feels like the S95B has a little bit more yellow than the G2. We're talking about color saturation, right? Because we know if it hits 700 nits and 600 like this is pushing beyond the luminance capability of that color for WOLED and QD-OLED. And I was asking ratings, maybe they could also give me a saturation value of yellow if possible, or red, to see how much of it's still left. You know, this is fun. I really love the ratings of exploring this. So if you guys have a chance, check out your favorite TVs for 2022 or 2021. They haven't updated the X95K yet, but so my thoughts are, Andy, definitely it's an improvement. No doubt. And now I want to work closely with them to help them make it better, right? Because this allows me to kind of point to the reference and then compare it to what I'm observing in my reviews as well, because I do it exactly as how I described it, but I don't have it set up like this because this is an immense investment of time and resources to do it. Okay, second part of, go ahead.
I was going to say, how do you think the modern OLED? I was going to answer this. Well, not the burn-in, but just like, for example, the thing that I noticed when I look at these two TVs was specifically that the smallest highlights were better on the A90J, you know, and that's, so I don't know if this test will actually make it perfect because, you know, like you said, it could still be very, very small windows that are just a little bit different, but, you know, I don't know. I don't know what, you know, you think about the burn-in. Go ahead.
Right. And, you know, so that goes to a great question. I haven't even had a chance to look at their new burn-in test. So I just thought they updated only the 1.7 review protocol, the benchmark test. So give me a chance. I'll spend this week looking at the modern OLED A90J C1, how we would predict they would do on the new burn-in test. Oh, and also just give you guys a heads up. So I'll be out of town Wednesday through the weekend, through Monday. I'll be in Kansas City at the Midwest AV thing. So hopefully it'll be fun. Youthman and his team are there doing a shootout of speakers and ultra short throw and long throw. No TVs. It's just everything else but TVs. I'm kind of there to be the TV rep to see, hey, how does this change the experience? So it'll be kind of fun. I'll let you guys know what happens. And maybe I can get a live stream going while I'm there or something, but we'll see. I've never been to Kansas City for that long before. I've driven through it when driving my son through Detroit or to Detroit, but that's about it. Okay, and here's another super chat. Oh, and guys, as a reminder, don't forget to click like. We have 190 people, but not 190 likes. Thank you so much. Trevor Butler, thank you. Which would be your 5-year TV? A 77-inch G2 or a 65-inch A95K? Definitely the 77-inch G2 because, well, other than the heatsink, WOLED, they've gone through everything. You know, they know what causes burn-in. They have all the fixes that's specific to WOLED. This is Sony's first experience, literally their first year, first generation with QD OLED. It has a heatsink, but Sony has no idea what's going to happen to QD OLED over the long term. We don't know what the stability of the quantum dots are. Quantum dots have never been stuck at the front of the TV before, and we don't know how 4 layers of blue is going to work out over 5 years. It's really an unknown. I still call it a first adopter product. It may last 5 years, or after 3 or 4 years, things might happen. We don't know. Whereas the G2, we have a good idea of where OLED's going to be right now, because it's been 5 years since 5 years ago with what, the C5, C6, right? We're down up to the C2, G2. So we have a really good idea. I'd go definitely with a 77-inch G2 if longevity and durability is your priority.
And just the size difference. I mean,
That too,
easy choice. I would just take the larger of the two. If you need a 77, then I would do that.
Yeah.
I have a 65 where I wish I had a 77, and that bugs me all the time. It doesn't really matter that it's one specific OLED versus another. I would just like a bigger one.
Yeah. And a lot of people are doing this. They're switching from the S95B to the G2 because they have a very specific use case where they feel that S95B really didn't deliver what they wanted, right? And if I was to have only one TV, which one would I have? Well, because if it's only one TV, it would be the G2 because that's my only TV. I don't want something to happen where I don't have a TV in 3 years and go through, and I won't have a warranty, right? Because it's a 1-year warranty. Even if I bought it at Best Buy, it only goes 2 years with their total tech support. But if I was the kind of person that replaced a TV every 3 years, I would go with the S95B because I'm just that kind of guy, right? I like having the latest so I can push it. Everything I have, I feel like I'm a power user, and the S95B allows me to have fun with it. So I'll put up with some of the inconveniences.
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
All right. All right. So let me throw up our price predictions for those of you who just joined us. I'll have that up again. Here we go. So Black Friday price predictions. All right. Let's see what we got here. Welcome, everyone. And don't forget to click like if you enjoy this content. All right, Pedro. Question, QN95B 85-inch or C1 77-inch to replace a 12-year-old plasma in a bright room? I would go with the QN95B 85-inch if you're willing to put up with possibly DSE. A lot of people getting an 85-inch any TV LCD, they've had issues, and this includes Sony as well, where there's too much vignetting. Maybe there are grids, maybe there are dark spots. If you want the likelihood of not swapping TVs, get the C1 77-inch and you're more likely to have a clean panel. But if you need that bright room, now remember the QN95B also has the rainbow effect for bright points of light. Anti-glare, there's a slight rainbow if it's really bright at the wrong angle. So keep that in mind. The C177 does not have that. Those considerations, I think, might be more important than the brightness of the TV. But if you are buying from a retail that allows you to switch in the first whatever days for you to test it out, start with the QN95B 85-inch. If it works, great. If not, swap to the C177. Okay. More dimming zones. Yes, I like more dimming zones too. And there are big differences to be had. My upcoming review, updated QN90B. I got the new QN90B with the older firmware. Well, 12.11 was the oldest I can get. Samsung sent it to me. So it doesn't have the local dimming bug. I'm going to update that against the X95K and the QNED 85 as well as the QN85B. So you guys can see what does extra dimming zones do. And I think we know what it is, but I have to show you the images to make it work. Howard the Duck. One of my favorite movies from the 80s. I just bought my first OLED. I'm a bit concerned about the stutter on low frame rate movies. So low frame rate movies, the lowest the frame rate is going to go is 24. So it's really, that's a standard frame rate for movies. It depends on the stutter or the stutter jutter. Depends on the brand. If you get a modern G2, C2, same as the A80J, 80K, you can get it set to the best as it could be. So Sony, LG, even the modern Samsungs, you'll be able to reduce the stutter if you're okay with a touch of soap. And you have to be okay with that. Some people don't want any soap at all. If you want no soap, you'll always have a touch of micro stutter. Just remember that. Should I go back to LCD? No, LCD is not any better. I have both. you're always going to have a micro stutter if you don't want any soap at all. You have to be okay with a touch of soap, which I am because I hate micro stutter. So something to keep in mind, no LCD or OLED is ever going to match a plasma as far as the cinema blur that has no sense of stutter at all. So yes, both OLEDs and LCDs have this issue. It doesn't solve your problem by getting one or the other. And Petters, you're right. QD OLED's first generation. It's going to get better, though. Keep that in mind. The question about the S95B firmware. Yes, Wilson G. I have the S95B 65-inch with the auto update turned off. Any news if Samsung's going to stick with the 1302 firmware? We do not know, Wilson. And the worst part is this 1302 is being forced onto a lot of people. A lot of people are saying, well, I have it turned off. It should be okay, right? Wrong. Classy will tell you, as well as many people have told me, even though it's off, it was forced onto their TV as long as it's connected to the internet. Some people say, no, it never happened to me. That's just an urban myth. I say, why risk it? If you want auto update off, unplug it from the internet and use an external streamer if you need to stream or use your streaming apps, right? That's the safest play. Otherwise, you will get the 1302, especially if Samsung considers 1302 to help with warranty claims. For example, if 1302 specifically pulls back the brightness in order for the TV to last, they will force it on you. They do not want RMAs out within the warranty period at all. And they're doing this to play it safe. So hey, if I was Samsung, I'd do the same thing. It's to protect them from warranty claims. So if you really want to play it safe, unplug your TV. Otherwise, you have no one to blame but yourself. And let's see here. I agree. $1,400 for the 65-inch A80K. That was one of my favorite prices as well. And I expect we're going to see close to that on Black Friday. This year, they're going to be very aggressive for Black Friday, I think. And let's see. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Don't forget to click like if you enjoy this program. Going through all, here we go. Thank you, Michael Molina, for that super chat. Hi, fellas. How much of an upgrade will I notice from an LG 77-inch G10 to the G2? Is it worth it? If you have the G10, the answer is no, it's not worth it. Yes, it does get brighter. That is the biggest upgrade. However, unless you're complaining that the G10 isn't bright enough. So this is something you have to ask yourself. If you're watching the G10, you're saying, this is a phenomenal TV. I cannot imagine how much better it could be. Stop right there. Now, if you're watching the G10 and from the get-go, you're like, if only it was a little bit brighter, then the G2 may be worth the upgrade. The question is, how much brighter do you think it will be? And that's something that I cannot answer, because if you bring it home, you're like, wait a minute, it's not as bright as I thought it would be, because all you're watching is some SDR stuff that doesn't need to be that much brighter or cannot get that much brighter. Because you have to remember, the ABL of OLED is really within 20 or 30 nits of its maximum capability right now. So know why you're upgrading to the G2. I'd say wait till the 83-inch G2 drops in price, then upgrade, because at worst, if it doesn't get a little bit brighter to your eyes, at least it's a little bit bigger. And then that means it will be brighter perceptually to you for sure. So I say, turn off the lights?
That's good. No, I said that's good advice.
I said, yeah, that works too. Turn off the lights.
No, you're good. I agree with you. Like, it would be pointless to get like a couple generations better for the OLEDs.
Right.
If you're going from like I don't even know, like a Q90T from Samsung, and you go to like a QN90B or, like that.
Or 900B, right?
Then you're talking about like significantly better contrast or not, just better dimming algorithm, all that.
Yes, absolutely.
But I still would want to get a bigger size, because it's like, there's still downsides. Like, the Tizen OS is slower. So the G2 is awesome. Everyone says it is. You guys are all saying it is.
Right.
But you probably wouldn't notice much difference in the same size. Yeah.
That's what we tell you. So just generally speaking, the power of OLED is in its infinite contrast and its deep black levels. So in a dim room, it looks phenomenal, right? The minute you get to a bright room, you've kind of cut back its potential. It still looks great, but now your eyes are no longer sensitive to the darkest areas, so you don't appreciate the infinite contrast as much, nor will you enjoy that deep black, because a regular LCD TV in a bright room will look almost as black, and now it'll be harder to distinguish. That's just something to keep in mind.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Here's a good one. A lot of people are asking about this. Is the color volume from the S95B to the G2 that noticeable? I'd rather get a G2 than an S95B on firmware alone. And the answer, Cosmic One, is no. Color volume is content specific. So unless your content is pushing color volume and gamut, no. It is. Now, the S95B, however, might give you more accurate colors. And this is something I learned from class here recently. When you calibrate your TV, so I'm assuming the S95B or the G2 is calibrated. When the S95B or A95K, when QD is calibrated, it's going to bring out more reds accurately than if you calibrate the G2 to the same D65 white point. And that's the difference. Not so much on the color volume, but rather the color accuracy at D65. The S95B will bring out the reds accurately where it would be missing on the WOLED. G2, A90J, it doesn't matter. And that's what I noticed last year is, although all the TVs are accurately calibrated, and you saw this too, Brandon, remember during those face scenes, the reference monitor faces had richer skin tone, like a little bit more red, and all the other faces look kind of pale. Like, wait a minute, this is not bright. How come there's missing red? It's because WOLED, if you do it to a white point, it pulls down the red. On the QD OLED, that does not happen. And that's why I expect both QD OLED TVs to beat up on WOLED color accuracy on that alone. And the reference monitor is not a WOLED. That's why it shows the reds accurately. So it's not about color volume. It's about skin tones for me. So if you're a skin tone guy, I would get the S95B and WOLED for that, because I am a skin tone guy, and you don't need to be bright to get that red, but you need to calibrate it correctly so you can get there.
My A90J, I absolutely love the skin tones on that. You have an A90J, right?
I do.
Yeah. And I think it looks amazing on that. You know, just all the different color skin tones too, you know, like darker skin tones, lighter. It just, I don't know, when we're watching movies on the 83-inch or even the 65-inch, they just, it's a really nice TV. Ninjician calibrated those for me, and they look really good.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. And he calibrated my S95B with Sammy, right?
No, you guys spent like 8 hours doing that. Then you had made a day of it. Did you buy them lunch? I hope you bought them lunch.
I tried to, and they said, no, we got to run. Like, all right, next time. But yeah,
I had to take you. You bought me lunch. You bought me lunch for bringing that.
Hey, come on down. I'll do it again. Yeah. Sammy Prescott did my S95B, and Ninjician did my G2, and he was convinced. This is before the firmware update, guys, right? This is before 12.11 even. This is during the original firmware, and they both thought that the HDR color accuracy was phenomenal when it was done at that time.
Are you going to come down? You going to come down here if I get the 97-inch?
I have to. I mean, where else am I going to go to check it out? I have to check it out. And honestly, I was debating between the 97-inch or a reference 5,000 nit monitor, and I'm leaning towards the 97-inch because I think that's one that my family could actually enjoy.
You're going to buy the 97-inch?
Well, not buy, but at some point it will be affordable. I'm going to ask Robert to find a way if I could trade in a part of a car or something.
There you go.
So here's a great question. Hey, Drew, or rather a comment. We love helping people. A simple but big thank you to FOMO, Installer, Whisper Status, everyone for helping me decide what TV to buy. Spoke with Robert at Valley Electronics today, and we'll be ordering a 65-inch G2 later today. You're going to love it, Drew. Don't look back. That is a phenomenal TV. It's one of those, we call them 5-year TVs because people buy a new TV every 5 years anyway. That's a TV where it's finally got the heat sink. It's going to last. It's super bright. It's solid. It's such a beautiful TV. I have that one, and I'm just in love with that TV myself. And of course, we know the A80J 77-inch last year was one of the best TVs of 2021. We all loved it. We told everyone, get it, Black Friday, get it, primed it. It's no longer available. It's sold out. That's it. Gone. If you guys got it, you're in luck because the A80K this year is a semi-gloss. I believe the A80J was a full gloss. So if you want a full gloss in a perfectly dark room, the A80J was your chance to get it.
In
I
the
mean, it's a
70,
minor difference, but
just in the 77 though, not in the
yes.
65 or 55.
Yes, only the 77 was it a gloss. I think last year the other ones were all semi-gloss. And this year, all A80Ks are semi-gloss, much to many people's disappointment.
Seems like a
Okay.
weird thing to change.
You know, sometimes, here's something for you guys. Talk about anti-reflective layer. This year, the QN90B, QN98, and X95K have the exact same anti-glare rainbow effect. Exact. They sourced their anti-glare from the same place, which is probably Samsung. So if you guys are thinking by getting a Sony X95K, you're avoiding the anti-glare rainbow effect, nope. On the 65-inch, literally the same anti-glare. I just finished the test yesterday. I was like, wait a minute. This is exactly the same anti-glare. So the QN85B, though, does not use anti-glare. It uses that diffuse, right? You put a light and it's like diffuse. QN90B, QN90A, identical, and X95K, identical. So if you guys thinking getting a Sony will avoid the anti-glare or the rainbow effect at that price, nope. You got to drop down a level to either the X90K or the QN85B if you don't like the rainbow effect, or go OLED. The
But both
OLED's
of those, both the QN85 and the X90K, both don't have a very good. It's
I
like
know.
you can see a lot of. I was at Costco today, and that
Yeah.
the QN85A or B looked okay, but then the you could see everything in the in the reflection.
Yeah.
And I already know I have the X90K here, and it's awful for anti-reflective. It's not you cannot put lights on behind. It's like as bad as my projector.
I am a fan of that anti-glare. I mean, I'm not a fan of the rainbow effect,
But you have to get it, man. You got it.
But you have to get it because it's still better than the lesser alternative that doesn't do rainbow, but it's worse to me. So it's something you guys are thinking about.
I think the OLEDs are fantastic. I love their anti-glare.
I love it. Right. Yeah. I think so. But of course, all my good TVs are in a dark room, so I don't have an issue. This is a great point the president's making. So he had to replace the C1, or he's trying to replace it because of the pink tint. This is the update to the Evo technology last year. Is a lot of people notice this pink tint more on the C1 and the C2 than before, because that's part of this constant upgrade. Is you give away something, but you gain something else, right? It's more efficient. That means it can get a little bit brighter. It can be pushed a little bit harder with less energy, but you're going to get a little bit of pink tint. My G2 had a pink tint when I was asking Matt and Ninjishi, I'm like, wait, is that me or is that a pink tint? He goes, yep, you got a pink tint. I'm like, whatever. Because in real content, I don't see it. But during the test patterns, right, on the grays, I'm like, wait a minute. He's like, yeah, you know what? They all have it. You just got to deal with it. And predictions for this year's shootout. If you guys don't know, this year's shootout, it's at Value Electronics in New York City, or rather, it's hosted by Value Electronics. It's in New York City. We're going to have all the great TVs, A95K, G2, and the QN90B, or at least QN95B. I'm sorry, the QN95B. All the 4Ks, the best of them will be there. We'll have them compared with the S95B as well, and the A95K. I think I mentioned that. And then 8K, Z9K, and QN900B, and the LG's new 8K OLED. This will be at the end of the month. I'll be there. Brandon will be there, and we're going to have fun talking about it. We're going to do some golf commentary over the course of the day. So
we're going to golf?
Golf commentary. I know.
I want to go to they have a Top Golf there in Chelsea, I think. We should go to
dude, in Chelsea, in the middle of the city? Oh, that's crazy.
I think they do on like one of the piers. Maybe it's not Chelsea Pier, but it's somewhere. I think they have a Top Golf.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, Top Golf is big.
It's expensive though, but it's fun.
Oh, it is.
It's like $100 an hour.
Wait. Hey, another greeting from Germany. The Samsung S95B over here is available for $1,500 55-inch. And $2,000 for the 65-inch. Okay, are they just giving away this TV? I mean, seriously?
That's a good
$1,500 for the S95B 55-inch. That's insane.
Is that just because of logistics? Because they can get it from like Korea there easier?
No,
I don't know.
No, normally it's more expensive. Normally it's more. Samsung TVs are normally the same, if not a couple hundred more. This is definitely Samsung trying to push this TV out the door. There's no way around it. A TV this new, this discounted in Europe, no less, is unheard of from Samsung. And here's predictions. I predict the A95K will win by a hair over the S95B because it's Sony, and biases play a role, I think. I could be wrong. S95B will win HDR impact over the Sony. Sony will win in color accuracy. G2 will come in a close second, but it depends on the content. But I think it will come a close second. And I don't believe any of the LCD TVs have a shot at winning because it's just not going to have the color accuracy. It's missing that. And in the 8K, I think the Z9K, okay, I'm going to lobby for HDR impact. HDR impact is not a category last year. I'm going to try to make it a category this year where, put color accuracy aside, is it consistent with the creator's intent to blind and awe you with the impact of this scene? That's how we must interpret that scene, because some HDR scenes is meant to awe you, while other HDR scenes are meant to wow you. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful, right? The ones that are meant to awe you with luminance impact, I think less should be placed on color accuracy and more on the dynamic range itself. And I spoke to Classy about this. Maybe the creator wants to clip it so that you get a punch in the eye. And that's something I'm going to try to lobby for this year. It'll take a while, but we'll see. And
hey, I told you I'm bringing Eric with so we can get some footage, some good footage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I have to just say, you're a little bit out of focus, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just so you know.
It's so annoying. When I get in focus, you know. Then it goes back out of focus.
Yeah, you're in focus now.
No,
it's not following you.
Dude, I don't know what's happening. I mean, this is why you pay Sony the big bucks for an expensive camera. It's not like eye tracking me. It doesn't. I don't see the little.
It should be. That's what I'm saying. I think you have eye tracking off, or I think you're on fixed or something. Hey, Matthias, let's hit this comment. I know you haven't reviewed it yet, but do you think the QN85 is better than X95J? Okay, so I have the QN85 right now. I'm looking at it. I had the X95J. I have the X95K. So we'll use X95K as a comparison. No, the QN85 is not better. It does one or two things better. However, I'll tell you this, the lifted black bars are definitely worse. As much as I've been complaining about the X95K's lifted bars, the QN85 has worse lifted bars. However, is the X95K $1,000 better? No, it's not $1,000 better, but it is better. But the QN85 is as bright. So that's something that allowed people, well, myself included, this is a bright TV. The QN85 is so bright. It's as bright as the QN90B. It's as bright as the QN85B and the X95K. I put it on Mad Max, Aquaman, Superman versus Batman versus Superman. The brightest scenes, I put it in slow-mo, fast-mo, and the QN85 in all those scenes that are HDR, including the Crimes of Grindelwald, it matched the other TVs blow by blow. The only TV that was brighter was the QN90A. That TV was brighter than the other three TVs. But if you didn't get the QN90A, well, that's your chance of getting the brightest TV I've seen. The QN90B is slightly less bright in the larger windows. That's it. But in the smaller windows, the QN90B hits it. But so does the QN85. So the QN85, it's what we're talking about. It's the smaller things. Shadow detail's not as good. It comes out of black way too quickly. It crushes shadow detail, but it's only in the dark scenes. I would not get the QN85 for dark scene watching. So if you like watching Game of Thrones, right, the last episode or the last season, episode 3, don't get the QN85. It's not as good in dark scenes. X95K is a little bit better. So something to think about. I'd get the X95J over the QN85 if you're looking at specific things, but it really depends on use case. Let us know. All right, let's go down. Got a super chat here.
From you can't hear me. I was talking. My bad.
Oh, you were talking. I didn't hear anything.
No.
It's okay. You're focused now.
Yeah, I know. I was saying that. So I've been talking to myself for like 5 minutes. It's cool.
I was going to say, you're either in focus or you have audio, right?
I must just hit this with my elbow or something. It's got a mute button on top. So I was no, I was saying it's in focus. And then I was saying I'm interested in getting that QN85. I'm down for it. Don't get it?
get the QNED90 when it comes out in September. I mean, get it for fun, but
Well,
you're gonna
get
be
86-inch, maybe.
yeah. Get the 86
Actually,
inch.
you know what? That same company that might be getting the 97 might be getting me an 86 of
Yeah,
something.
86 is different. Yeah, only because you're so used to OLED, you're gonna notice the lifted black bars. I mean, it'll be a distraction if you're used to OLED.
The
If you go,
blooming or just overall lifted color?
no,
Like,
it's lifted. It's not blooming. It's just lifted. I mean,
I don't mind that. I thought that the QN90B was just a touch lifted, but it was like but the whole TV looked amazing. Just the specular
yeah.
much better.
Between the lifted black bars, it's amazing. It is actually in most. Okay, so if you're watching Aquaman, if you're watching, those bright movies, right? Mad Max, the QNED85.
I don't like Aquaman. I hate that movie. So I'll watch Mad Max. So go ahead.
Okay, so Mad Max, QNED85 kept up. I mean, QNED85 kept up with X95K, QN90B, QN85B. So if that's the movies you watch, full screen, QNED85 is fine. It's when you are going to the darker scenes, more often than not, it may struggle. And I'll show you some scenes where I felt that it really fell apart. But I wanted to mention Leo 7 Fire. I know why he's setting his love, because we're talking QNED. He's been waiting for us to talk QNED, and we were finally talking QNED. But if you all caught my live stream with Robert, he said that the QNED90 and the QNED99 for 2022 will not be releasing until September at earliest. So, Leo, I know you're holding your breath for the QNED90 or 99. It's not coming out until September. We're still on the QNED85 for 2022 and the lesser QNEDs. But this year, QNED does not mean mini LED. It just means QNED. The only mini LED for 2022 that's out right now from LG is the 85 with 180 dimming zones. If you want more dimming zones, you got to wait for the QNED90 for 4K or the QNED99 for the 8K TVs. And the QNED99 hopefully has VRR this year. Last year, it did not. So for gamers who need VRR and want 8K, something to think about. All right.
Yeah, this Don B real quick put up that the new video that I wrote put up showed how much more work it was to set up that. I'd have to say it was a lot of work. Like putting that screen together was a pain in the butt. But if you buy this, you only have to do it once. I mean, and I would just highly recommend people. I think it's obvious that people would pretty much only buy that sort of thing for a dark room, but literally you can't have any light in your room or it's not going to work.
Right.
And we have some lights in there. We can't turn the lights on, but we have a big moonlight that comes in, and it's not too bad with that on, but like any of the lights in the room, it kills it. And it's not nearly as bright as most TVs. So it's got its use cases, and it's still, for 120-inch screen, it's like $4,000 versus like $8 to $20,000 for these other TVs that are only 100-inch. So
it's a matter of time. We just have to wait, right?
You know what I'm really interested in? Let me ask you this. You have good anticipation on some of these. When do you think I could get a 120-inch OLED? When am I going to get a 120-inch OLED?
Rollable. The minute they release rollable.
I want a 20, so we could just roll it right up on the wall. Use one of those little LG. Remember that E series? They had the little string, the little thing that comes down. I want one of those. I want 100. I don't 200-inch then. So we get a rollable OLED.
That's the only way to carry it around, because you know how wide and tall those things are, obviously, right? So at 120, you cannot even get it through the door. Literally, what is the height for a 120, right? It may or may not fit the door, but then you need technicians who will not break that TV as they take it through the door or whatever. Rollable is like a giant carpet. Just put it on your shoulder, walk through, boom, rolls up and down. Much easier for the techs to put up. My prediction is once they get rollable working, then we're going to see 120. 97 inches the max for a fixed frame.
And you think that's also because of the glass and the logistics and all that? Like a bunch of reasons. I saw this in the Southamptons, this video on YouTube of them putting up one of those little, they put the panels together, FOMO, like they use like a bunch of Ethernet behind it, and then they're putting the panels up, and they're building a wall. I think it was an LG. I'm not even sure what brand it was. It looks so cool, but it's like the video was only 2 minutes long. They should have made a cool video. I could make a really cool video about that sort of thing.
You should pitch it. You should do your own fan video. What do they call it? Fan videos?
Yeah. Or I'm going to say Samsung or LG, if they want to send me one of their complicated ones that I have to put together with Ethernet lines, I'll do it. We have this wall. I'm telling you, this wall here is enormous. We could fit a lot of things on that wall.
Well, you're in the USA, right? That's what we're known for. It's giant houses with giant walls. This
made of sticks. Everyone says they're always made of sticks here.
It is. Hey, Stacy, great question. QN90B, QN90A, QN85B, or QN85 for gaming? And I had this discussion with Classy earlier.
What size?
Doesn't matter. Let's just say whatever size, right? The QN85 ends up being the best gaming image quality TV with all the features you want, from Dolby Vision gaming to 4K 120 VR working. Classy has been testing the gaming, the QN85, and hands down, best image quality of this group for gaming. And that would include any Sony LCD TVs as well.
You said the QNED is the best?
QNED 85, best image quality with all gaming features working smoothly, everything. Just you name it. It is for gamers. If you are choosing mainly for gaming, QNED 85 is the way to go. Classy was left incredibly impressed. If you're still here at Classy, go ahead and throw out your impressions. I'm sure he's going to do a great video comparing that. But I took his word for it. He called me and says, oh my gosh, this QNED 85. This is the gaming LCD TV right now. If you have anyone that needs to get a gaming LCD TV and are considering the more expensive 90B, 85B, or X95K, just stop. QNED 85 is where it starts. And hey, you know what? I'll take his word for it. I'll check it out. Now, the QN90A, I dismantled and pulled it down, and I put up the QNED 85 because it's so clear that the QN90B and the QN85B are better than the QN90A in all the little things. The QN90A is the brightest in the 5% window and above, but in the 1% window, it just cannot do it. And for me, that's very important. So the QN90A is now no longer in my studio. Well, it is in there, but it's sitting on the ground. The QNED 85 has taken its place. So now I have the 90B, 85B, QNED 85, and X95K up there, as well as the S95B and the G2, right? So those are my 6 TVs that are mounted. But yes, QNED 85, guys, if you're wondering gaming, but non-OLED gaming, and you need a large size, like an 86-inch QNED 85, it's still going to be less expensive than an 83-inch whatever that's out there, right? By Black Friday, I know it's going to drop hugely in price. So that might end up being the gaming TV, Brandon, because you're looking at a 86-inch, right? QNED 85?
Yeah, I would be. I'm considering getting that.
Let me see. What is it right now? It is 3,300.
Yeah.
Oh, you're kidding me? 3,300 by Black Friday. It's going to be 2,700.
That's like
2,700 for the ultimate gaming 85-inch TV all day long.
We'll have to see. I'm not sold on it yet. I mean, I like that Classy enjoys it, but I got to see it too.
Well, we're talking gaming, right?
Well, I mean, I'll play gaming. I'm just saying I got to see it for everything. I mean,
because the problem
even if I'm gaming, I still have to see that it like is bright. It doesn't have anti-reflection issues. There's a lot of things involved, you know. But I'm sure it's awesome if he's smitten by it. It's probably not bad.
The issue with gaming is if you have VRR on, it turns off local dimming. So everything you love about the QN90B is turned off.
Maybe
that's.
But VRR is not like I don't consider that the only thing for gaming though. Like I don't care if there's no VRR. I'd rather have a good looking TV without VRR. So it depends on, you know, most people don't really care about VR. I mean, a lot of people here do, but when the typical person, like I have kids, and when they're gaming, they don't mention that kind of stuff to me. They're just playing video games, you know? So it's like, you know, I guess I'm more of I use it for everything kind of thing though too. So I'm not just sitting there gaming only. So I guess it is different.
Yeah, it is definitely. That's what I'm saying. It's the ultimate gaming TV. But you're right. All around, you might end up with a Sony anyway. Here is a great question. Thank you for that super chat, Brad. Oh, wait. Before we get to the super chat, let me run our ad real quick. It's that time of the day. 1 second and enjoy our sponsor.
This past the remote live stream was brought to you by Whokeys. Trying to build a PC on a budget but don't know where to buy your Windows 10 software on the cheap? Whokeys to the rescue. Just enter our code PASS, P-A-S-S, and immediate discount.
Let's quickly go through the activation process after you've purchased Windows 10 on Whokeys. Go to your Whokeys account and select My Purchased Orders. See your order. To the far right, click on the button that says View Keys Codes to see the Windows CD code. At the bottom of this order where it says Code Card, to the right is the product key you need to activate Windows. So copy this long number, then go to the Windows menu and click on Settings. In the Settings menu at the bottom, select Update and Security. select activation, then select change product key, paste what you copied from QKeys, click next, click activate, and you're done. You can download the Windows 10 Pro key and you're up and running. But that's not all, folks. QKeys has keys for games too. Steam, Origin, Uplay, you name it, you got it. Check out their sites. There are discounts for all sorts of stuff. And most importantly, you want to be productive? What about Office Suite?
So download a copy of Office Professional with our code PASS, P-A-S-S, at checkout. And we're back. All right, so let's do that super chat.
Oh, I moved it down just so that you could see the ad.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thanks, buddy.
No worries.
I forgot it continues to show. Hey, Brad, thank you for that super chat.
Good.
Would I recommend a mint condition open box? How's the mint condition if it's open box? You don't know, right? Make sure you get a warranty. Okay, Sony 65-inch A80H for $750. Okay, I would get it, assuming it is mint condition and there's nothing wrong with it. But make sure you have some kind of return policy, just in case you turn it on and it doesn't work, right? Normally these things, you'll know within the first 50 hours what's wrong, because it is what it is. It's not going to fall apart 50 hours later. Give yourself at least a 7-day return policy on this or something to make sure that you don't have broken goods, right? But yeah, I think $750, oh my gosh. Definitely give it a shot. I cannot turn that down. All right, Shango, thank you for the super chat. Hey, greetings, gentlemen. Slightly different subject. I just got my hands on a Samsung Q990B. That is their flagship Wi-Fi Atmos soundbar. I am in love with it. I want it so badly. And it's fire. I would love to see your thoughts in a review on it. Oh, dude, I know Brandon's going to review it. I'm going to review it. My prediction is this is the soundbar to get for 2022. Now, I know LG has also released its flagship, also wireless, and I think those two are going to go head to head to see, and they're going to go against my Sony a7000. I'm waiting for the discrete surround to come so I can do a head to head. But those are the three most expensive soundbar kits from the mainstream vendors with a TV as well. So I normally recommend getting the TV models that match your soundbar just to make sure ER connections work. It is not necessary, but it does avoid a lot of issues. So yeah, the Samsung QN95B definitely on my radar.
There are some pretty big benefits to getting the ones that match, though, too. Like the Samsung one does work with the Samsung UI on the TV. The Sony works with it, so you can sit there. If you have a Sony TV, you can manipulate all the bass, treble, back sound, all of it.
Oh, and the Q Symphony. I forgot the Q Symphony.
Right. So, if you get a Samsung TV, you should just get the Samsung. I mean, I can tell you the Samsung one's probably going to be pretty good. The Sony one, I mean, I thought the Sony one was pretty impressive. The A7000 with the big, with the either sub. I thought the little sub was fine too, and the same with the rears. And then I have the Sonos Arc, which I think if you're going to get something that's just works with every TV, the Sonos Arc is still it really works well. And it has really good surround sound with just the Arc and the sub. It still shoots sound out pretty good at you. So the soundbars are pretty impressive for kind of what they're doing today. I mean, it's not as big as a dedicated system, but for the price, it's pretty solid.
I have to say that the Q90B finally did something I've been waiting for. I believe they have room correction, right, Shango? The Q90B actually has some kind of room matching optimization, room correction. If you have a Samsung TV that has Q Symphony, you definitely should get a Samsung soundbar that also has a matching Q Symphony. Then it will use your TV as part of the center channel build for the immersive sound. And I think that's, might as well take full advantage of your TV. You paid for it. Get the soundbar, and now you get to put it to its full use. And that happens with a Sony as well. And with the LG, I don't think LG leverages their TVs the way Sony and Samsung does, but for sure the Samsung really takes advantage of it. And here's a question for you, Brandon. Yo, B, you keeping that TCL? Thanks for that super chat, Rod Lowe.
I mean, I'll keep it as long as they let me keep it.
That's the right answer, right? Until TCL sends the moving truck to pick it up.
I mean, that's going to be a pretty expensive moving truck. They might as well just leave it with me. I think they should just leave it with me. They might. They said that it didn't need it back. They didn't need it back anytime soon. / really don't need it back. So we'll see. I think they just didn't want to say it's mine, but maybe it is. I don't know.
I love this comment. Oh, and please, everyone, don't forget to click like. If you're enjoying this content, we love being here. Click like real quick, but remember,
smash it.
Someone said? Smash it only odd number of times. Otherwise, you end up unsmashing it.
Dude, one of my favorite crypto guys said, for like, if you're really mad about the economy, just take it out on the like button. Just smash the crap out of the like button.
And EJG says, these YouTube videos made me change all my TVs in my house. Hey, you, me both. From the H9G, which was one of my favorite TVs, to the TCL4 series, to the RU8000, to the A90J, LG C10 and 77. So what a great replacement, right? He replaced his 4 series and RU8000 to the
the RU8000 to an A90J is a pretty impressive upgrade.
It is very impressive. Hey, he went all OLED, by the way. I cannot encourage this more. I mean, I tell everyone, if it's in your budget and you've never had an OLED and you're in a light controlled room to a certain degree, you got to get an OLED. It's just so good. And I agree with Andy. I normally don't recommend LG soundbars. Apparently 2022 is a different thing. That's why I'm holding my judgment. But yeah, before 2022, I never hear the word LG soundbar from my lips.
I don't have any positive experience with them yet. So,
you know what's funny is you and I, we used to think, I used to think Samsung Tizen was just, this is solid. Everyone should do it like Samsung. But then this year, this is my only comment. Samsung UI, lol. It's like, what did you do?
Yeah, it's been a little bit disappointing this year.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why it seems like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not such a critic. My phone, Samsung phone, is perfectly fine. Everything works just great on it. I mean, I'm impressed with how much stuff you can do on your phone. How can they not make a TV just work? I don't understand it. Like it should.
Well, it was working. Wait, Brandon, it was working last year.
But it's never been working extremely fast. Like,
right.
I don't know. Like, what makes it go so slow? What makes it just be glitchy? It's just kind of frustrating. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I got you. Well, they stuff so much into it too, right? I mean, there's so much happening behind the scenes. They're tracking you. They're making sure they have the right ads for you. They have this AI. Who knows what this AI is doing?
Like last year, the Samsung frame last year was incredibly slow. This year, the Samsung frame, you can go into like the different pictures and you can do it's a lot faster. Yours is so much faster. Last year, it was way slower. It was way slower, dude. Like snail slow. You'd click on like set and it would take 5 seconds to set as the image. So this year is a lot better.
And here's something interesting. See, I don't have a Sonos Arc, so I cannot comment on this, but Andy says the Sonos Arc is good, but no HDMI imports, DTSX support. Oh, no DTSX support and no rear up-firing Atmos speakers for the side. So yeah, if you're looking for that, something
doesn't have input. I never connect anything to my soundbar. Yeah, I don't connect anything to my soundbar like that. I just use it for Arc. I use it for streaming movies. It would be nice for them. Sonos does need to come out with upward firing, like dual channel surrounds. I think that would be great because it's already tough enough with the soundbar system to get a lot of upward firing sound. So it'd be nice to have 4 channels of that.
This is a great comment because I used to be like Mustafa, especially last year. I think QNEDs should not be compared to the QN, I guess he means Neo QLED TVs, unless they adopt the VA panel instead of the IPS or ADS panel. Then we can tell if they are better or not. So on angle, like on axis, straight ahead, I say they are so close that it's worth comparing. Off axis, correct. You definitely see raised blacks, although colors are preserved better on the QN95B and the QNED 85. I notice more colors preserved off angle, but the lifted blacks are distractions. So I'll give you that. But on angle, they're there. I think this year is the year that I can safely say IPS/ADS, right? It does a job of making an alternate. So for example, the X90K versus the QN95B, that's worth talking about, or the X90K is a little bit cheaper, but still, right? VA versus ADS, IPS. This is the year I think they've finally hit that point where it performs well enough. Yes, and just a reminder, 87 likes, that's it. Let's break 100 at least. We have 200 viewers, only 87 likes.
Yeah, it happens, People people are just watching in the background, and they're going to be like, I don't
know. They're playing golf.
I appreciate it, Matt. That's awesome. I had told, I don't know if Matt was on earlier when I said that I love my A90Js, and I know he calibrated them, and it might have just been, one of them might just been to the white point, but I think the big one, he calibrated all the way. But either way, they're both awesome, and I love these TVs. They're so nice. So I appreciate him doing that.
And Travis Slovenia wants to tell the doubters, as far as LG soundbars are concerned, thank you for that super chat, bro. LG has licensed Meridian technology for soundbars. So if you guys don't know, Meridian is one of the high-end British brands when it comes to high-end products, high-end audiophile, high-end theater. I mean, those things cost mucho bucks, right? Anything Meridian, we're talking 10 times what anything else costs. So for LG to license Meridian, that means LG has thrown up their hands. Okay, we don't know what we're doing. Let's bring in a big name player. Or maybe they're just licensing their name and saying, look, Meridian, what would it cost to bring your name in here? We don't know, but I'm hoping that we get a soundbar from LG to compare. Obviously, the flagship soundbar to see head to head, are they any good? And yes, Meridian is one of the first adopters of the CD player. They had some amazing CD players at the beginning. DMAC doesn't like soundbars. How many of you have two speakers and a subwoofer, or two speakers, a subwoofer, and a receiver instead of a soundbar? Like, you had a choice, right? Should I go soundbar or 2.1? And you went 2.1. 5.1 obviously is a completely different thing. You actually got a full built out speakers and everything. But 2.1 versus soundbar, that's something that I rarely see. And predictions for 83-inch G2 prices. Man, this is so hard. Right now, it's what? Go ahead.
I was going to say, if you wanted to think about that for a second, I actually hear what people are saying with the 2.1 sound system, because like I have these speakers on my desk, and I love listening to music in here more than any place else in my house. Like, even with headphones on or whatever, these two Vanatu speakers, Vanatu, whatever.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I'm a fan.
Like, I listen to music, and I have a little sub down here. It's like a B&W sub or something. I can't remember what it is. It's like 8-inch sub. This sounds so good in here. So if you had some really good speakers on each side of your stand, 2.1, it does sound amazing. Or even a 5.1. That's all you really need. And yes, there is something to it, because sometimes, don't you watch movies, FOMO, where you just want to hear the voices come from the middle of the movie? Like, you want to hear what they're saying. Yep. You want to hear bang bangs and booms. You don't necessarily need flyovers, but even with large speakers like that, you still get a lot of pretty immersive sound,
I definitely, having control over my theater, I definitely discrete speakers all day long. But most people, soundbar is the future, right? For most people.
Yeah.
But no,
ease of use too. Yeah, ease of use and installation, ease of use, all that for soundbars.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have a full like 7.2 9.2.6 or whatever, but it makes a difference, and I love surround, but definitely that center channel is very important. So, Ivan, FOMO, any predictions on 83-inch G2 prices? So if you checked it out, I just checked it out. It's currently $6,500 on the G2, and I do expect aggressive pricing. I don't see it dropping below $5,000 though. At best, just above 5,000. So that's my prediction for the 83-inch G2. It's just above 5,000, which ends up being where the A90J was at this time last year, right? Just above 5,000 or 5,500, something like that. So I predict this will be the same. Definitely wait Prime Day next year. It'll still be around, and it'll be where it should be, which is low 5,000s, but probably 5,500 is my prediction. 6,500 now. Even 5,500 is very aggressive. I'd say probably 5,800. It'll be under 6,000. How much under depends on how desperate they want to get rid of it, but there's not a lot of them, so they're probably not too desperate. All right. Let's go through here. A90J or A80K, same price. Oh, definitely the A90J. Good question, Morse Streeter. So the A90J has the heatsink. It's able to maintain peak specular highlights at a brighter level, slightly brighter APL, slightly brighter everything. A90J is a master series. Everything is just a little bit better than the A80K. The A80K is very similar to the A80J. So if it's the same price, get the A90J for sure.
You know, here's another good point too by Don B. Real quick. Whoops. You get a AVR and speakers. You can always upgrade separates over time too, which is a good point. You know.
So talking about that. This is a really good point.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
when you get a full kit like this, what I normally do is get the best subwoofer I can afford to start, because those things you never upgrade. You get a really good subwoofer, that's it. I mean, it basically will last you for the life of the subwoofer. The only time you replace it is when it dies. And even then, you can replace the amp, module, whatever. If you have a budget and you're allotting prices here and there, allot the most to the sub. And the last thing you buy is upgrade maybe your AVR, like get the cheapest AVR to start, as long as it has a sub out. And then at the end, when everything is done, save up for the final last upgrade, which is your AVR, because that will have the latest codecs or whatever, right? Pass through HDMI that you need. But your sub and your speakers, those things don't change. So start with the sub and then work the other way, right? Because a good pair of subs, wow, pair of 16-inch monolith THX subs changes your life, destroys everything out there. Any soundbar won't even come close. Dual THX 16-inch monolith subs from Monoprice, and it'll
That's
walk
crazy.
your world.
Those are huge.
It's going to sink into the floor, never move. Hey, Jesse, thank you for the super chat. Are all the best 2022 expected TVs models from all the major manufacturers out already for 2022? Are we still waiting for more to be released? Yes, we're waiting for 3 models. One, the Sony A95K Master Series QD OLED, coming out in 2 weeks, hopefully by the end of July. So that's Sony's last model to come out this year. That's their Master Series 4K, which is the QD OLED A95K. We expect it to launch at or release at $4,000. Then you have LG's 2 flagship QNED TVs, the 4K QNED 90 and the 8K QNED 99. Both of those are their flagship non-OLED TVs, releasing in September. And once those are out, that's it. Everything is out. And hey, FOMO, thank you, Joker. If 65-inch is the max size for me, do I get an S95B or WOLED? It is here in Germany, $2,000 for 65-inch. I would say okay, Joker, if you have never had an OLED before and you're okay with any OLED and you just want an OLED you would enjoy, get the G2. It's predictable. Everyone knows what it does. We know what it does. We know all of its capabilities. It's phenomenal. Get the C2 or G2 for $2,000 if you can get it. And unless the S95B is cheaper than your alternative, I think the C2 or the G2 for that price, you'll be thrilled.
Yeah, I think he said $2,000. That's such a good deal, isn't it?
That is a good deal. I'm wondering if the G2 is that low. Now, between the C2 and the S95B, yes, you will see the people reviewing the S95B as a wonderful performer. But again, if you've never had an OLED before, my concern is longevity. It's suddenly, I don't want people coming back 6 months later. Oh my gosh, I'm a first adopter. I should never have listened to you. My OLED is QD OLED. It's falling apart, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what's going to happen with QD OLED. This is first year. We don't know what its brightness, half-life, or anything will be. We simply don't. But if you buy a new TV every 3 years, get the S95B. If you keep your TV longer than 5 years, get the C2 or whatever alternative is for $2,000, because that I know will last you the 5 years. The S95B, it could be 5, it could be 3, who knows? But that's a risk you have to be willing to take. But the S95B does have phenomenal picture quality, and I do like its skin tones. Oh, Brandon, were you ever a 3D fan? Because EHJ's question over/under makes a comeback in 2023.
I don't know, man. You know, I think here's why I don't like it. I don't think you should get 3D on like a 65-inch TV, because you need the TV to take up a lot of your viewing space to make it work. You know, like it needs to be really big. So unless you're sitting from like 4 feet away from a 65-inch, what's the point of having it? Because you'd watch it on 3D and it would be like coming out at you and then it would disappear. So like, I feel like you need like a 75 or 85-inch at 8 to 10 feet to make it worthwhile. like when you're in a movie theater, even at a movie theater that has a small, projection screen, I don't think 3D was worth it. Like we just watched it on, we watched, what's it called? The Doctor Strange movie. And it was like stupid, it was just, I didn't know the screen inside the theater was going to be so small. Like in an IMAX, it'd be awesome,
So you bring up a great point, Brandon, because I believe the new JVCs, like $15,000, whatever, they're 3D capable. So think about that. You get a 3D Blu-ray that's available on many of these movies today. You have a 150-inch screen projector, and we know projector's slightly dimmer, but you get 3D. So 120-inch 3D, not super HDR, but it's 3D, and it's definitely good enough for a great SDR.
I mean, you go to like a movie theater, you go to like a drive-in movie theater, those screens are so dim compared. I mean, like, so this is going to be brighter at home.
This is 3D, right?
Yeah.
So for you, 3D 120-inch or HDR 100-inch?
Right now, I'm going to make a video about this, but I just think, I don't know. It's just not as vibrant as you'd like for the projector. So like, I really like just seeing the beautiful color and pop. So, the TCL is pretty impressive at this $8,000 price. So I like that one. But yeah, I'd probably choose the 100-inch TV for sure.
All right. That's your answer.
Yeah.
I love it.
But still watch the video when I make it.
And I don't like wearing glasses for 3D. It's just not comfortable for me.
I don't like that either. Then you can't see, like when you look at your phone, like real quickly, even though you're not supposed to be looking at your phone, you can't see anything, or you're looking for like the sweet tart colors and they're different colors,
Hey, what about the 97-inch G2, guys? If I had $27,000 lying around this Christmas, here's the issue is, well, obviously it's expensive. And also we know that when you have a first launch of a super large size, that's super expensive, you wait 3 years and it's literally a quarter the price. So launching at almost 30,000, somewhere between 25 and 30. We know that fourth quarter of this year. But 3 years from now, it'll probably be 10,000. And I definitely would wait because as much as I love a 97-inch, it's okay. I mean, I'll sit closer, right? But yeah, I am a huge fan of 97-inch G2. It's just at $27,000 or 26, whatever that ends up being. It'll be between 25 and 30. In this economy especially, I would be irresponsible buying it. But then if I had a couple million in the bank, why not? Price prediction.
Cool
Price prediction for the QNED 90. So, assuming that the QNED 85 is tracking the price of the QN95B, which it is right now, then the QNED 90 will be similar to the QN90B. So, whatever the QN90B price is in September, the QNED 90 will be priced within $100 of it. That's my prediction. So, the 90B probably around 2,000. I believe the QNED 90 will be probably 2,100 because it's a new launch. And then the QNED 85 will be down to 1,500, let's say. So yeah, there will be a $500 separation, maybe 600 between the QNED 85 and the QNED 90. They need that $600 separation to justify that jump up. So I see just above $2,000, but definitely less than the X95K and around where the QN90B is.
That's funny. Spillage Village has you're coming down with time. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So we saw the 8 series at CES. We all loved it. Any info on the 8 series? Well, it's launching this year. They keep on telling us that. But other than it's going to release by fall, we have no idea. Pricing way back when was 65-inch will be around $2,000. Now, here's the issue. The QN90B will be likely just under $2,000 by the time it launches. We're talking fall. That means you're getting closer to Black Friday. And we know Samsung hits prices hard in September. Would you buy a TCL 8 series that's the same or slightly more than a QN90B? And yes, the 8 series will have 1,000 dimming zones, whereas the Q90B has like 720 or something like that, or 700 something. So that's a huge advantage, right? So literally the 8 series will be using the same backlighting technology as the QN900B, just over 1,000 dimming zones, just very similar OD0. It'll have slightly better contrast, slightly brighter, but it's a TCL. Now, it might end up being awesome, but actually, it might end up being awesome. Maybe I prefer Google TV over Tizen, right? So maybe that is a sale, but that's something for you guys to think about. Would you choose a $2,000 TCL over a similarly priced and similarly performing Samsung? Because that's where we're going to be by the time the 8 series launches. And it'll be 4K, not 8K. Oh, Shango, thank you for another super chat. And don't forget to click like. We are at just over 200 viewers and only 92, 97 likes. Thank you for joining us. Shango, inflation, supply chain issues, rising prices in oil, causing rising prices in transportation are all things that worry me. Do you gentlemen think these issues will affect any planned drops in TVs? Yes. That's why I put it my Black Friday right now is I normally wouldn't put it this early, but now that I see where everything is going, specifically after Prime Day, the early returns are in where the retailers are saying, hey, we did not sell as many things that we had hoped. And the fact that Amazon is leaking that it may put out Amazon Part 2, Amazon Prime Day Part 2, sometime to compete with Black Friday, that tells me that they need to push these products. In order to do so, they need to drop prices harder. So I think this Black Friday will definitely, forget Black Friday. They will start dropping prices earlier and faster before Black Friday. Samsung has been doing this every year. Black Friday is in November around Thanksgiving USA time. Samsung will hit Black Friday prices before October, like late September. So as far as Samsung is concerned, if you guys are looking at Samsung TV, definitely start looking in September. Of course, I'll be posting all of my alerts on my channel. So subscribe to my channel and subscribe to Brandon because, you never know, right? Put your alerts on. And definitely October, you're going to start seeing other brands hitting it like Sony did last year in October as well. And then by the time Black Friday rolls around, we all hear the same comment. Wait a minute, these prices aren't any lower than it was in September and October.
Or it just might be out of stock too.
Yeah, or it might be out of stock for that price, right? So get it a month early and enjoy it a month early and avoid the Black Friday craziness. That's a great thing about ordering online. You don't have to remember those days when you're out in Target or wherever and your parking lot is filled with people and it's like a riot just to get in and get that $100 Westinghouse TV. I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah, they used to do. They don't do that anymore where they open up at like midnight.
Well, yeah, because people are ordering online like, wait, it's the same price online. What do I have to put up with this?
For sure.
Now, uniformity has been an issue for those who are in the know, meaning people who buy large 85-inch TVs. It's always slightly worse than smaller ones. EHJ wants to ask, stop the FOMO. So if the LG 83-inch G2 is having uniformity issues, would that make the Sony A90J the best 83-inch going right now? Or would you say something else in the 80-inch range? So the A90J 83-inch, some people also have complained of uniformity. It's just generally, if you're above 80 inches, you have more uniformity issues than 65. Doesn't matter what brand you go to. And OLED happens to happen less to OLED than to LCDs, but it's there. So we cannot make predictions that it won't happen to you no matter what brand or model you get in the 83-inch size. So if you have your sights on the 83-inch G2, just get it and hope for the best, because unless it's really bad, let's say that pink tint, it happens in all sizes, right? It doesn't mean it's happening worse than the 83-inch G2. And sometimes when it's larger, it's just more obvious. So yeah, changing models doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a better uniformity TV. It's the size.
I think it's what you said. The size just makes it easier to notice like larger areas of issues. I think all the TVs have some of it, but the OLEDs are typically better than the QLEDs for the most part.
Yeah, definitely.
And I thought that my QD OLED was the best I'd ever seen. That had the best uniformity I've ever had. And it was I didn't see like anything on that. That was like perfectly clear. Like I didn't see anything on it.
If you guys have issues with uniformity at the 55 or 65-inch size, the QD OLED, from all the reviewers and myself included and owners, the S95B, just amazing uniformity. Anything else might have an issue, right? Bent panels, this and that, but the uniformity, spot on. Spillage Village, thank you for that super chat. I think what you'll see in a small scale comeback is a small scale comeback of 3D in theaters, Avatar 2. Okay, I know it's leading somewhere. Highest grossing film of all time. Cameron has an influence. Okay. Possibly.
Wasn't
So,
that one of the first 3D? Wasn't that one of the first movies where they used cameras that had 3D,
yeah.
They had two
Native.
different cameras shooting everything. And
Mhm.
I mean, there already is some 3D in theaters, anyways. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in San Diego that's in 3D here. You know?
So my question for you, Brandon, you remember Avatar when it came out?
Love that movie.
So
It's great.
did you see it in 3D? I mean,
I did.
I saw it in 3D. I honestly didn't say, 3D made the movie.
No.
I was like, okay.
The
But
movie
I saw
was just awesome. The movie was good.
Right. The movie is good
But
with or without the 3D.
Didn't need the 3D. Sometimes 3D makes me nauseous anyways. I don't know. I'm getting old.
If it's too good, I'm getting
Yeah.
old.
And it goes probably because it's like the 3D, and then they do like the soap opera. It's like the motion like is all jacked up, too much.
Yeah. Well, it's like that. If you've been to the Disneyland rides, Captain EO's in 3D. Now that I felt was real 3D because you saw but it was 3D hologram, right?
Oh yeah.
You had the glasses, then you had the laser hologram, and then you had the smoke, and you needed the smoke for the laser and the hologram to all work. That okay, but that was just too much work. But a regular theater with just minor 3D. Now, Avatar 2, though, as a movie, I'm very excited, but I don't know if the consumers, I think, okay, Avatar needs to make it native AR glasses. You know, those AR glasses, the virtual reality glasses, Avatar 2, being in the movie and watching it. That might make people buy the glasses, right? But I don't know about 3D coming back. I honestly don't think so. Yes, Mustafa, it is. That's 97 inches. You're paying for the size, buddy.
Yikes.
Right. Just making sure we're getting caught up with the super chats. Here we go. Oh, here's another one. Oh, thank you for dropping by, Michelle. I love your blank line. And don't forget to click like, everyone. Be engaged.
Michelle just wants more crypto info. I'm kidding.
Or crypto. I think right now. Oh, wait. Okay. Just a quick. So people have mentioned how Coinbase is their wallet of choice, whatever. And so now Coinbase has canceled its entire affiliate program. And that is saying, oh, is it a sign that there's a liquidity crisis? I'm telling you, man, just all the signs are like, just wait. Yes, I know people are interested, but what's the rush? Let's just see where the bottom is, because I think Coinbase's volume dropped by 90% in 1 month. That's transaction volume, or 85%. I mean, that's a huge drop. So, people can't make money flipping it. They're not going to buy. They're just going to liquidate. So just wait it out, everyone. Just wait it out. Only good things can happen if you wait. Price prediction. Badzilla, because you asked, let's pull it up. I just love sharing my screen. So let's do that. We'll talk about price predictions for Black Friday. And how long do we have you for, Brandon? I want to make sure we wrap up.
I'm good whenever, man. Probably soon here. I got to take the kids to get some new football cleats, and we're going to go see that Thor movie tonight.
Oh, Love and Thunder. I love that movie. I really enjoyed it with my kids.
Jen has to see Thor.
yeah. Exactly. That's exactly my daughter. She's like, oh, Dad.
That's my wife.
Why can't you look like Thor? I'm like, I'm working out.
I'm working on it.
One day, baby. 77-inch, my prediction, G2, $3,600. And that's being slightly aggressive, maybe 35. It really depends on how badly the economy is doing, but it's still their new TV. But I think 36, 35 is my target price, Black Friday for the G2. And, I've locked this price, so we'll see how close I am as we get closer to Black Friday. So it'll be fun. Definitely the QN95B will be around there. So the question is, will the QN95B be above or below the G2? I think this is a case where the QN95B might want to try to outsell the G2 and be slightly below it, but it'll be very close between those two. We'll see. Boom. Here we go. Someone's got his first 5.1 system, a Monica Milan Wisa setup. Oh, Michelle, hey. Wisa, does that mean it's fully wireless? And is it with your LG G2? How do you like it? I've always wanted to know if someone ever used a Wisa. Let me know how well that works. Any disconnects? Oh, wait, we were talking about this. Don, my big Prime Day sale purchase was a Shark AI laser mapping auto empty robot vacuum for
Ooh.
$3.
I should have got one of those. That would have been a good thing to get on Prime Day.
Shark is also popular on Costco. I wonder if it's on Costco, because I'd consider it. I have a couple of these because of some of the sponsors I've had before. But ultimately, if you don't have a flat floor, I think it works best on flat floors, right? Carpeting could be iffy, but wood floors and marble, I think it works really well.
Yeah, I also need to get a little drone. I could have got a drone. That'd have been good.
A drone?
Yeah, I want to get like a DJI drone. Getting tired, man. I didn't get much sleep last night.
Oh, I know, dude. I feel fatigued. You and me both, Don. We all want glasses-free 3D holovision. That's been the dream, but it had, not happening. I don't see it.
So what TV are you excited about that you haven't reviewed yet?
A95K Sony. It's coming this week. It's not this week. It's coming at the end of the month. So I'll have that. I'm very excited about that.
You're going to end up getting it right when you're gone. It's going to come.
I know.
You're gone.
I know.
Did he have an actual date on it, or are you just assuming it's going to come?
Okay, so it's an allocation prediction. Sony could move it to August for all we know. Yeah. I'm not, not to start a panic. I don't know if they're moving it, but its designated release date is what, July 27 or something like that. That's the designated release. So
we will be gone.
I'll be not here.
I'll be flying the next day. So yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they call me so I can schedule it for the week after when I come back that Monday.
It'd be interesting to see if that, how it wins. If it wins like best TV, and then all of a sudden we get it, it'll be interesting. It'll be fun. Who knows? I think any of these all the TVs that are up for best TV, like any of the ones that are in that conversation, are all very good TVs.
Right?
Pretty much any of them.
So Mustafa brings up a good point. I really didn't like Thor: Love and Thunder. Big meme turned into a 2-hour movie. I think Marvel movies recently have been a bunch of memes. It's just summer pop flicks are meant to be mindless fun, and it delivers that. So, but does it compare to the Endgame and the movies leading up to Endgame? Definitely not. But how does it compare to the other movies this summer? Maverick is still my favorite. What is your favorite movie of the summer so far, Brandon?
I haven't seen any really good movies.
Maverick? Come on.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, you gotta see it. Well, it might be too late.
Well, we were gonna get it on Vudu said you could order it to buy, but then it was like pre-order, so we couldn't get it. So I'm not gonna buy it for pre-order. So but that we wanted to watch that. What else? I don't know. What movies have been out?
Okay, so you have Jurassic Park or Jurassic
I haven't seen that one either yet.
I think between the three, Maverick for sure, Thor, I would place Jurassic way after that. I'd skip Buzz Lightyear and go straight for the disc. And Jurassic, unless you watch it in the theater, it may not even be worth watching on disc. It's just because, the dinosaurs and everything is kind of fun. But they're no longer in the big theater. I think they're out now. So
I heard Elvis is pretty good. I'm looking through.
Elvis is good, but you don't need to see a big screen for that, right? You don't need big screen Elvis. You just need a good audio system. Mission Impossible is coming out this summer, I think. That looks exciting. I really like the previews, and I expect that to have amazing Atmos. I
want to see the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once. That movie with some of the people that made the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's supposed to be a really good movie. So that
one has a very okay.
It's subtitled, so I don't know. Yeah, but I like those kind of movies.
It's pseudo subtitled. It's actually an English speaking.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Okay. I thought we were looking at it, when we're trying to watch a movie late at night, it's not a good idea to watch a subtitled movie. So I always try to make sure we don't start a subtitled movie at like 9 o'clock at night, because then it's like just gonna put someone to sleep for sure. So yeah. Oh, Everything Everywhere is awful, Michelle wrote. Oh, interesting.
Okay. Everything Everywhere.
It got an 8.3 and a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
How about this? It's a thoughtful movie. My wife thought the message was overbearing, and she did not agree with the message. And the movie is all about the message. So if you're not into thoughtful movies like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or Hidden Tiger, Crouching Dragon,
I
whatever.
think you had it first.
That one is more action and plot driven, whereas the other one is more mother daughter. It's very much a thought provoking movie, and unless you're into thought provoking, it isn't worth the action.
Here's what I appreciate.
Without giving away any spoilers.
Here's one of the movies that I absolutely. Here's the best movie I've seen this summer. This will give you guys an idea of what kind of movies I like. I gotta figure out the name of it. Hold on, I gotta figure out what it's called because it's okay. It's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Have you seen that with Nicolas Cage?
Oh, is that the one where he plays himself?
Yes.
I want to see that.
I love Nicolas Cage movies, both because some of them are really bad and they're hilarious, and some are really good.
Yeah.
But when you start out a movie, this movie starts out with a scene from Con Air. That's it. It was over for me. I was like, I laughed my ass off that whole movie. And I didn't really like the dude that plays the Mandalorian. Like, I watched him in the movie, what's it? Wonder Woman 1984. And I thought that movie was terrible. And I thought his role was terrible in that. So it totally redeemed it that he was awesome in this movie. What was his name? I forget his name.
That guy. Yeah. The villain.
Pedro Pascal. I loved him in this movie.
The Mandalorian.
Yeah, yep. I loved this movie. It was perfect. It was funny. It was like a bromance. It was action packed. Just you got to watch it. I gotta watch it.
Once it hits HBO Max, I'm watching it.
I mean, it's totally worth it. It's a great 2-hour flick. I love it. It was great.
This is a great comment, question, prediction by EHJ. Hey, be the installer, stop the FOMO. The over and under on Sony gimping us again in 23-24 with only 2 HDMI ports. This is an ongoing joke by Sony against gamers. Hopefully they surprise us or MedTech. Honestly, it looks like Sony really doesn't care too much. I mean, and it's not Sony's fault, by the way. They put in their TV whatever is available to them by MediaTek. And if 4 is available to them, they'll put 4 in. If 2 is available, they'll put 2 in. They're not working too hard. So 4 is available. They should put it in. But if they have too many of the 2 port somewhere in their inventory, they might just use that. I wouldn't put it beyond Sony to use 2 ports. People don't not buy Sony because of that. It's the other stuff for gamers. So I don't think so. I think they will give us 4, but it wouldn't surprise me if they don't.
People are talking about these movies now. It's pretty funny. Shango, put up a super chat. Here, all right. Appreciate you doing a super chat. Thank you. It's been 2 years since he's been in the movie theater, but Maverick was the one that got him back in the seats. If you like Top Gun, you have to see Maverick. Listen,
yes,
Top Gun, I'd say there's like 20, 30 movies that I can put on and watch it anytime. And Top Gun's one of those. Goodfellas, the other guys. There's a lot of comedies. I love Top Gun. I'm sure I'll love Maverick. It's just been a matter. We have 2 kids. They don't want to go see Maverick,
Of course not.
We gotta pick and choose what movies we go to. We're so damn busy. But I wanted to just get Maverick at home and watch it because I have multiple TVs and systems to listen to it on. But I do want to see it very soon.
Here's something for you to consider also is the people I've known, and they've all seen both. And we grew up watching Top Gun. We've all agreed that Maverick arguably is better than Top Gun in many ways. That's something for you. So these are Top Gun fans who are saying, wow. To us, it felt like Top Gun was a setup for Maverick. So like, you know what? We want to make a movie like Maverick, but we got to make Top Gun first so Maverick could be there. And that's how it feels is Top Gun. You're just getting the team together, but Maverick is that final ta-da and phenomenal. Rarely does that happen, by the way, where the second reboot where everyone's old is so good.
Terminator 2.
I cried on those.
Terminator 2 is a good one. I thought Terminator 2 was almost better than the first
one.
It
was good. Yeah, definitely. I enjoyed Terminator 2, but Maverick brought a tear in my eye. That's a tear.
All right.
It's something that caught in my throat.
Hey man, I cry at a movie. I'll tear up at movies. It's not.
It's funny. My daughter, I think my daughter cried in Thor. I was like, tweeners, man. All right, we're gonna wrap up. Thank you everyone for coming by. Did we get all our super chats? Just making sure.
Thank you guys for doing that. It's appreciated. Much appreciated.
Yeah, all right. Thank you everyone for coming by. So what's happening this week for you, Brandon?
Let's see. I got the X95K and I have the X90K. So I'm going to put out a video with the X95K this week. And then I should have the Samsung 8K. And I'm thinking about getting that QNED 85, the 86 inch. So a lot of things. Then we're off to the TV shootout. So I'm excited. How about you?
I am too. So I have a short week. I will be flying to Kansas City like Wednesday sometime and doing their Midwest AV experience. So they'll have ultra short throws or whatever. I'll try to run some quickie live streams so you can see what's happening and, you know, try to narrate through that, see how that goes. And then I'll try to put out a video before I leave, a review of the QN90B kind of reboot and the QNED 85 and comparisons and stuff. Hopefully give you guys something to enjoy. And then, yeah, in the week after, it's getting ready for that shootout, man. Yeah, and I have to get content ready for everyone because Classy and I are working on getting super high-net content to separate the Z9K and the S95B from the competition. Like, what can we put out there that really pushes brightness and HDR? And it looks like for brightness, we're going to have to use the Z9K to really get that impact. But we'll see. All right.
Ooh, so in Scotland, we got someone in Scotland. That's awesome. I want to be in Scotland at St. Andrews right now. That's awesome. Hey, what's up, Dave? How you doing? And someone said, ask the X95K. I'm just going to have the 65 inch, unfortunately, for now, but hopefully I'll maybe get a larger size if I get a client that needs a larger one of that, or the G2 as well. I might get an 83, but I'm hoping to get the 97. So,
yeah, I'm hoping you do too. That'll be an excuse to go to.
The goal was if I do it, I have to have some sort of party. So I have to like show us having it. So we'll have to have like a movie party or something. Invite anyone that wants to come down.
Awesome. Okay, everyone. Well, if we missed your question or you have a question, but it's too late to ask, we'll be back next week.
Yep.
And thank you for showing up and thank you for clicking like. And until next time, pass the remote.